Okay. 1, 2, 3. We had 2 people who said they were going to show up, cancel, so we only have 3 today. When you think of a good mystery, you usually think of a movie or a book. But one of the greatest mysteries of our time actually happened 500 years ago in Roanoke Colony off the coast of North Carolina. Mysteries are fascinating and really interest people because we have an innate curiosity to find out the truth. Archaeologists, scientists, and historians have all done research on this, but none of them have found definitive proof on what really happened to these colonists. So today I'm going to discuss the history of Roanoke Colony and then 2 possible things that happened to the colonists and their colony. So let's start with the history. In 1587, 117 people led by John White, not John Smith, who we know from Pocahontas, led the people to the New World and landed on Roanoke Island off the coast of North Carolina. Once they landed, they actually lost quite a bit of their supplies, so John White was sent to gather more from England. His return was delayed because there was a war between Spanish and English forces, naval forces. But he returned in 1590, 3 years later, to discover that all of the people and all the supplies had vanished, and all that was remaining was a newly built fort and the word CRO and Croatoan carved into some of the wood there. So now that we know the history, let's go into possible reasons for why they vanished. One possibility is that the colonists died somehow. This could be due to famine and would make sense because John White was going back to England to gather more supplies. However, it doesn't make sense that the supplies were missing and there was no dead bodies. Disease could also be an issue that caused them to die. It was something that Jamestown, the very next colony, struggled with, but then again, there's no reason for there to be no bodies or supplies there. Murder could also be a problem that the colonists encountered. Native Americans had killed some of the colonists before when they went on a mission to gather some crabs to eat. Or the Spanish, who were south of them in the United States. They could have stolen their supplies, but it doesn't make sense why there was no bodies again. They probably wouldn't have buried them. Another theory is that they actually tried to sail back to England themselves. This accounts for the no bodies and the no supplies, but it doesn't account for the words Crow and Croatoan carved into the wood there. So if they didn't die, maybe they relocated. There's 2 possible places they could have relocated. Croatoan makes sense because that was what was carved into the wood. It was an island 50 miles south of the Roanoke colony, and there was Native Americans there by the same name who were known to be kind to the colonists. Archaeological research found a gold ring, a writing tablet, and part of an iron rapier there. And also, Jamestown later heard rumors that the colonists had joined some sort of Native American tribe, but these were never confirmed. Scientists now are actually doing genetic testing to see if the colonists somehow joined a Native American colony, but they haven't found out the results of that yet. Another possibility is known as Site X. This is because John White had created a map and drew an X over this place that was later patched, and it's unknown why it was patched. But this was a place that was 50 miles west of the colony, and here archaeological research discovered Surrey, Hampshire borderware pottery that was not imported after the beginning of the 17th century. Also found here was a storage jar, pieces of a gun, a metal hook for stretching animal hides, a buckle, and copper tubing for securing wool fibers. Nicholas Lucchetti, the principal archaeologist, said that maybe some of the colonists had ended up here, but probably not all of them. In conclusion, it's up to you to decide. Did the colonists die of natural, malicious, or accidental causes, or did they relocate? Mysteries have always fascinated us humans, and with the recent discoveries made in both Site X and on the Croatoan Island, it's very interesting to keep up with the history of this spot. So the next time you're looking for a thought-provoking mystery, You may want to look at your history book.
Oh, there it is.